Um, Good day. You're welcome to another episode of my lecture on developmental psychology. Today, we are going to look at factors affecting personality development and emotional stability. F- First, introduction. It is necessary for us to examine those factors that influence personality development on a general basis. One of the factor, which is one of the most important factor, is the home. The child inherits some behavioral traits from his parent. Apart from this, the parent are the first teacher of the child and he learns a lot from them. A child who enjoys no love from his parent is bound to develop hatred for others in his later life. So the home plays a very pivotal role in the development of a child. The next factor, which is also very important, is the school. The influence of the school in the personality development of the child is tremendous. The teacher's behavior, attitude, and reaction to his colleagues and people go a long way to influence the child's personality in the nearer future. We also look at another factor, which is the personal experiences. Every child has his unique past experiences, which might be pleasurable or unpleasurable. If a child does not experience crisis in the family, like loss of beloved ones, such child will grow up to be happy, and this will enhance a wealthy personality in the nearer future. Cultural influence. This is the first stage of factors that affect the personality of a child. The moral and social value of a society also have a strong influence on the personality development of the child. A child who grows in a society which lays emphasis on personal achievement tends to work hard without necessarily relying on others. Uh, Another very important factor in personality development is that of the peer group effect. The influence of the peer group becomes more dominant on the child during adolescence period. At this stage, parents' influence becomes very insignificant. Each peer group has its own code of conduct which every member must respect. So at this stage, the parents are expected to monitor the peer group influence, one, and at the same time to guide them adequately. The next factor is the child's needs and motive. Every child has its own unique need and motives, and efforts are usually made to meet such need. A child who takes interest in the game of football might later become a professional or a professional footballer. Emotional stability. The emotional stability of an individual affects his personality by determining whether he is calm or anxious in his approaches. It also tells whether he considers himself as secure to perform or insecure to participate in activities, and whether he is self-satisfied with his task or his self-pity is also indicated by his emotional stability. These are all factors that needs to be considered uh, and which the teacher or the parent needs to take into cognizance in guiding and shaping the development of a child. Another factor is that of extraversion. This factor is responsible for indicating whether the student in question is sociable or retiring and whether he is fun-loving or usually somber. It also shows how affectionate or reserved one is in his association with others or during the events. Openness to experience. The student's imaginative power or his practicability is known by his openness to relevant experiences. Person situation agreeableness is another factor. It matters a lot to determine whether the student is soft-hearted or ruthless in his dealing with others. Is he a trusting type or generally a suspicious person? We need to know his position when it comes to whether he is helpful or uncooperative, and by so doing, we tend to help him in integrating him properly into the society. Another factor which need to be looked into in personality development is conscientiousness. The factor of concentration affects the personality of an individual by helping to determine whether he is usually organized or disorganized, careful or careless. It also suggests that whether he is a disciplined individual or is normally given to impulsive behavior. At the moment we know flaws in each of this in an individual, As a teacher, as a parent, we tend to find a way of remedying such flaws to guide the child to be a responsible adult. Person situation interaction in relation to factors that affect the personality of our student. It is noteworthy, however, that description of the personality of each of them is not strictly speaking a straitjacket affair. The situation in which the subject find themselves must be put into consideration before conclusion is drawn to label them according to the traits enumerated in the factors that affect their personality. Person situation uh, factor is very, very important. There are people that you might not really know them except the situation determine their person. That is, the situation on hand tends to promote some of the hidden traits that might not really be visible or manifested in individual. So, by so doing, human personality tends to vary depending on, for those that believe in this theory, human personality tends to vary depending on the situation in which that person in question find himself. We are looking forward to your keying into our next lecture on developmental psychology next week by the special grace of God. Thanks for listening.